Welcome to the Elite Recruiter Podcast with your host, Benjamin Mena, where we focus on what it takes to win in the recruiting game. We cover it all from sales, marketing, mindset, money, leadership, and placements.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Excited about this episode of the Elite Recruiter Podcast. We have Emilie Ornon, who is a fantastic recruiter, launched her own recruiting startup over in Bordeaux, France, and excited to talk about her journey, her success in recruiting, and all the fun stuff that's happening over on the other side of the ocean in the recruiting space. So real quick, do you want to give yourself a quick introduction?
Yes, thank you. So I started recruiting about 3 years ago as I lived a burnout in my former job, and I decided to start again in my studies to go from a bachelor level to a master level. Okay. And in this master level, which accepted who accepted that I can enter this formation. I had to go for a training.
Okay.
And I decided to try a new job, recruiting, and I found a job offer on recruiting on TI jobs.
Okay.
So it started like that, and I've been proposed to go to another job for not for perm jobs, to recruit from perm jobs and to create a new business unit in the company for IT, for TI. Because it didn't exist at this moment, so I made it for about 2 years, and 2019 and 2020. And in 2020, even though it was the COVID for all the world, it really I really made a good job in this company as a TI recruiter, as a tech recruiter. And as my studies were coming at the end, and these studies just are about founding a company, just giving you everything to be able to create a company. I started about September 2020 to chat with freelancers, recruiters. And they helped me. They told me that it was really possible for me to go freelancer, and it was a really good idea. My clients also told me that it was really a good idea, and I just have to fill in the business plan.
Okay.
To check if everything was okay for the expenses, for what would go in. And I told yes, it's okay. I can go. So I left my company, and everything started in last January this year, with several clients that I had from my present job, by my former job.
Okay. And
some candidates that wanted wanted me to follow them. So it started like this. I really thought I would be alone in my company as a freelancer. To begin, it was really a big achievement to be alone and to success. And in reality, today we are 2 people because I recruited my husband.
That's awesome. I actually work with my wife, so phenomenal.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So he was looking for a job. He's not from recruiting world. He was in health with elderly people. and he had he followed a new formation. How to say? A new diploma last year.
Okay.
And after this diploma, he didn't find a job as he was a beginner in a new job. So he tried to help me. He just tried to go on LinkedIn and to find candidates and to write some messages, and it works. And he was very pleased with that job. And
it's kind of funny how like we all just kind of like end up in recruiting. Like I don't think many of us like started with our going into college or getting out of high school or grade school. Like, hey, I want to become a recruiter. It's kind of just like pops up and it's like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like you get to like talk to people, make money, make placements.
Yes, I saw that a lot of recruiters just fall into recruiting without having thought about it years before. And it is a good example for me first and for my husband now. And yes, it's a really, really a good experience. I'm really proud to be where I am here now. And really thankful for people like you who show me that yes, I'm successful, but I don't really want to see it. Really, I just see yes, I have to go there. I've not made enough. I want to make more, but I don't succeed in seeing that I've made a lot. So thank you for showing me that.
I mean, look at this. Like you definitely built up the Manpower office. You could just redo that for yourself, and you get to keep all the money. Let's kind of jump in and talk about what is recruiting like over in France or over in Bordeaux? Is it a lot of like perm placement? Is it a lot of like kind of like consulting work? Is it a lot of contractors? What's it like over there?
Yes, consulting is really huge here. A lot of companies, consulting companies, have settled in Bordeaux. I would say maybe since 2017, because the train is faster between Paris and Bordeaux since 2017. And then a lot of people are coming from Paris, maybe just working in Bordeaux and living in Paris, because it's just 2 hours with the train between.
Wow, really? They're commuting like during the day?
Yes, they are commuting. Yes,
wow.
A lot are doing this. And so everything went bigger. The number of consulting companies went bigger. And also the price for houses went bigger. And also, yes, contract is still here because I especially work on contract recruiting, as I work with little companies, with startups. It's my specialty. It's the clients I want to work with. I like it very much. And there are also a lot of not temporary jobs.
Okay.
Temp jobs in industry, in building also. Okay. Building jobs. But yes, consulting is huge, and it's difficult because it can be great and it can be difficult. It's difficult because they're already there when you check for job offers to find new clients. You have just consulting companies everywhere. And on the other hand, what is great is that you can go on LinkedIn and search for these consulting companies and just take everybody you want and candidates are really thankful that you just are talking with them to propose a job with a client directly without this consulting. So yes, it's great. It's difficult to find clients to work with. How I do is that I try to make the best job I can for them to be happy with working with me, and so they just recommend my services to people they know, to other companies in Bordeaux, and that's it.
Referrals are always the absolute best way to build your business.
Yes.
And doing a good job is one of the best ways to get referrals. So since you recently just jumped out, launched your own company, what kind of words of advice would you have to other people that are looking at doing the same?
I would say that you shouldn't fear this. It's a huge. I'm looking for my words. They don't have to think just of barriers because they wouldn't be able to. It's really easy because a lot of people are just here to help you. I have an accountant for a lot of things that would take me a lot of time, and accountant is doing this very well. And it's important to have some background for building a company, just knowing the differences between each type of company in France with different types of expenses. So just looking at the different types of companies, and a lot of recruiters, I think, are just not really. They are not at ease with commercial, with developing a business with this part of the job. How to find clients, how to keep the clients, and it's not that difficult if you are a good recruiter. If you know, especially if you go in a specialty and you know the specialty and you know what you are talking about. For tech recruiting, you know that Java and JavaScript are not the same. It's a basic. And if you can't show that you have a little background in tech recruiting, for example, don't go. Don't go if you don't want to specialize. I would say don't go. You have to specialize, even if it's in accounting jobs or building jobs. It's really better for you to specialize because you are really an expert for clients. You are an expert for candidates, and candidates won't reply to your messages if they don't see that you are an expert in their job. So I think it's really important.
Okay, awesome. For people looking at going out on their own, or new recruiters, is there any good habits, like structure your day,
yes,
or things that you think on a daily basis that you have to do to succeed? Any habits that you would recommend?
Yes, a lot of habits that help me to follow and not to be lost, not to forget anything. First of all, I use my calendar. Every minute in the day, I just note everything in my calendar for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, everything I do. So I can remember what I've done 2 or 3 days ago. And always reminding that I have to do this or that. For example, when I just sent a resume to my clients, I just note in my agenda for the next week that I have to have the information back from him about this resume, not to forget, and to have my spirit just free. I'm free of mind. I just can think about something else, and I don't have to remind something that I would forget. So it's the first thing. It's really important in my organization. And the second one is the ATS that you use. I built my own ATS.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yes. I don't use really built, already built tool. Because at the beginning I didn't want to go to a tool with which would be expensive, because when you have no money in the bank, you don't want to spend money. So I just choose 3 different tools that I tried the 3 tools. That would be Trello and Airtable and Notion.
Okay.
So I tried them, and what was important for me was to always be able to keep my database, and always be able to keep or to get back my database easily and quickly. And something which would be really easy to use and find my information really quick, and something that helped me every day. So I decided to keep Notion, and I built my own workspace on Notion until December. From now, I'm always rebuilding it every day. And yes, today it's a really great tool that I use every day, and I have lots of candidates. Maybe it's really little with what you can have. I have 2,000 candidates inside, and I can find really quickly which one I want. Which candidates I contacted this day for which job I contacted. It's related to my clients. It's related to my type of jobs that I can follow. Everything is related each other. So it's really easy. And this is my the first tool I use is my calendar and Notion.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, it's a combination of having a good ATS that works for you is super important. And, there's not enough recruiters out there that really just go back and track, one track, keep everything. Because, if you're looking at staying in this game for a long time, you are built building your book of business.
Yes.
And then calendar control, that's, I can't tell you how many people I've had on the podcast. That is one of the number one things everybody says, is calendar control and keeping organized is so important to your success. Because if not, how many times people, I'm sure, are it becomes a noon or lunchtime and they have gotten nothing done. Question for you, and this is a question I ask everybody. What has been your most favorite book recently, or book that you've read in the past that has had an impact on your recruiting career?
Maybe for recruiting, it was a book from a Czech recruiter from Czech Republic, who is Jan Tex. Maybe I can write somewhere else. I don't know if I can write his name. Discussion, yes. Yeah. So I write his name. And the book is The Full Stack Recruiter.
Oh, Full Stack Recruiter? Yeah, okay.
Yes. It's...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I actually got the book in the
Yes, I already have this, yes. And I read the whole book just because before creating my company, and it's yes, a lot of things that I didn't use. Although I was already a tech recruiter, and a lot of things that I discovered, it's really amazing. For example, for GitHub research, I never used it, and a lot of things, yes, were great inside.
And it's always good, like, the reason why I love asking that question, it's always good to, to always be learning in our space. There's always something new. Like somebody has, even something like GitHub, like, I'll admit that I haven't spent as much time on GitHub as I probably should, but it's just, the more you learn, the better you get, and the better you get at recruiting, and the more money, of course, you make. Okay, awesome. So you are over in Bordeaux. I do have to ask this question. In Bordeaux, France, what is your favorite chateau / wine over there?
I love wines from the east of Bordeaux, near Saint-Emilion.
Okay, awesome. Any favorite chateaus over there? Or just everything Saint-Emilion?
No, I have not no chateau in particular that I prefer. Just this part of Bordeaux, because some wines from Medoc, from the west, I don't like.
Okay. Sorry, I had to ask that question. I love Bordeaux wine. I have a whole cellar full of it. So, okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to jump in and share with the listeners?
Maybe yes. If somebody wants to launch his own company as a freelancer, just don't be afraid of being alone, because you have a lot of possibilities not to be alone with channels on Facebook. I also have a channel on Slack with French recruiters. And also I have my husband, so I'm not alone. But and it's easier for me. So maybe yes. One person told me on Facebook channel that I should already think about scaling my business. And yes, don't be afraid of thinking about recruiting somebody to work with you. It's important because it's possible, and it works very well to be. You have to find somebody who will be complementary with you, with skills, or maybe just things in the business that this person likes much and you dislike. My husband is a really great sourcer, and I am a really great businesswoman. So it's really going together. Yes, it's really together very well. And also just stay aware of things that could help you to recruit somebody for you. I worked for a client 2 years ago for a school, like a university, little one, for a tech job. So I just have the name of the lady in the company, and I just keep the relationship with her, and she asked me to participate in school exams at the end of the year for bachelor for recruiting people.
Okay.
And I will participate to these exams in July and in September. So I will be able to meet my competitors there, and also to meet students that could be good employees for me. So
that's awesome. Yes. A smart way to get ingrained and to help build your business.
Yes, and yes, just I can have also good ideas with what the students will present to the exam. Good ideas for my company. It's possible to get some ideas, and also it's the first thing that for which I go there is to share what I know, what I do every day. But it can be the great opportunity for the school, for the students, and also for me.
Awesome. Well, Emilie, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the podcast. Definitely exciting. Jumping in and launching your own company, being successful with that. Also, I know I've talked to people over here. They're always curious of what's happening on the other side of the ocean in the recruiting space, because the recruiting it's a global industry, and it's always great to learn from other people. So, Emilie, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, and I hope you have an amazing day. And for the listeners, can't wait for you guys to listen to this one and the next one coming up. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Elite Recruiter Podcast with Benjamin Mena. If you enjoyed, hit subscribe and leave a rating.